Welcome back, 5 Aces.
Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. Come for the plays, stay for the community. The official motto of OpenRA. Well, I've got some quite interesting news. Usually we focus on the shoutcasts and on the players and on the madness unfolding on the screen. However, after last week's cast, it's gonna be last week's cast for you, but it's 3 weeks for me due to the backlog. I was approached by pro player I Like Men, who just shared with me some cool info about both these players. They both appeared in the OpenRA scene basically out of nowhere, but they both have very rich histories and backgrounds in RTS. And we're gonna focus on Kav first, who has spawned in his traditional brownish-gray colors. Brownish-gray dull, just the German nature that it is. Yeah, he is known as Marco in the RA2 community, and he basically has eaten everyone for breakfast there. He's one of the top dogs in the RA2 community, and yeah, that's pretty much it. He's also already made an appearance in the comment section, which is cool. What's this here, little glitch? Ooh, Grandis are finding their ways into the power plant. Very nasty. Nice play from Sub. So he's got a very, very rich play history. Ooh, nice. Gets the snipe on the power plant. That is so valuable for just 320 bucks. Very good. He's gonna delay. Wait a sec. Oh lord, he had to sell the barracks as well. Nasty. Anyway, that's gonna delay the timing. And the player with the successful Grand Rush here is someone who also has a very rich and storied history. Sub is not just coming out of the woodworks. He is a high tier StarCraft 2 player and, get this, the roommate of Goat. Apparently they're sharing a dorm. So he is not a Goat Smurf though, because they have been seen playing each other. And apparently Goat has taught Sub. So yeah, you can imagine that this is gonna be a pretty strong contender for a top team league tournament. So if there's ever another team league tournament, I would really like to see a Sub and Goat team up. We just have the coordination as well as the APM, because Goat also does have a history background in mostly in Age of Empires too, if I remember. But his micro is very good, regardless of his Age of Empires background, Kappa Pride. Ooh! The engineer from Kav sneaks on by unnoticed. Yeah, up until now. Sub not dropping the ball here. That was some really fun information and tidbits that I Like Men has been sharing with me. Had me highly entertained and more invested into these players. Nice force fire coming out from Sub. Just murking them from out of the shadows. Man, sometimes it's a little RNG dependent, and sometimes those rifle shots are just whiff despite targeting the right cell, which can sometimes be a bit unfortunate. That's the way the cookie crumbles though, and some more pot shots being taken. There we go. All right, the area secured. Kav definitely a bit behind here, and yeah, speaking of the overall best of 7 that these two were playing against each other, right now the score is 4-1, so that should mean a foregone conclusion as to who's going to win the best of 7. However, they just decided to play it out anyway for the last, I guess. It was not a ladder. It wasn't a ladder, but it was not a mandated best of 7. So yeah, they were just going at it. So there's still a lot of tension as to how those last 2 games, I guess, are gonna end. And the first 5 have been a crazy ride. Mr. Bones' wild ride, so I like to call it. Alright, the APC just crushing some fences and opening up the comm center for captures. That's nice on this map, but it's not too impactful. I honestly would not expend an engineer on top of the one that you already built for the oil derrick, so if you lost your early engineer, it's not worth it rebuilding. But if you still have a spare engineer sitting around somewhere and didn't, say, waste it trying to capture a conyard, then yeah, feel free to go for it. Right now, absolute army advantage for Sub, who has not lost too much in the early game, and there is only rifles for Kav. Rockets haven't started appearing just yet. So his timing basically is saying, okay, I'm gonna yield my field control for now. I'm gonna yeet it into the ether for the next couple minutes. And I'm just gonna wait until I've got my tank masses up, and then I'm gonna push out. So Kav knows he's behind, he's playing from behind and is doing it the right way. But Sub is countering this by taking up the natural expansion of Cav. That is a risky proposition. He's also camping with his entire main forces. This is gonna lead... Okay, this is something I have fallen to prey to many times. This is a very problematic position for Cav now. He's got two options basically. Expand into the north, send your entire army, and risk getting your main base pushed, because your opponent can get into position faster, you don't have the scouting out. Or you try and contest this and you have to fight an entire base push. So it's basically a lose-lose situation. Sub trying to get himself established here. He is also going for the gatekeeper build. Oh wow. Okay, front lines are falling. But the pillbox is up. That pillbox had a half-life of about 20 frames maybe. Okay, the engineer is being a bit cheeky. Cheeky, greeky engineer. Oh, this means that the structures can't be placed now. He has to dislodge the engineer before he can place the defensive structure. There we go. Okay, he's good, he's good. But yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The expansion got sniffed out, has to move back. Tank in the eco lines. It's looking to be a very dire situation for Cav already. Ooh, the Conyard is taking a metric ton of fire. Sells it off as well. So this is a one base play for Cav. This is an all-in. The Tesla coil catastrophically is not going to be dislodged. Cav is in a wonderful position for the time being. He absolutely has the keys to the kingdom. That is... We're 7 minutes deep. Jeez! The tank from Sub is not going to let up on the chase. This is looking dire. Absolute disarray. Whoa! 7 minutes. Alright. So this is the 4 and 2. This is a redemption arc for Sub. Impressive play, and it all harkens back to him winning the early game, just positioning himself aggressively. And this map, I gotta be honest, Discovery is a map that is kind of binary. Because your own main base is tucked away behind those ridges. So you only have two options. You can send your MCV this side, you can send your MCV northbound. Sending it through the middle doesn't really make sense because there is not much to gain. You don't stand to gain any expansions from it. And if your opponent manages to camp the middle, which is something, there was another map called Badger Hills in Season 9 that Ganon used to do this religiously on, where he would position himself aggressively in the middle, and whichever way his opponent went, he would go the other way and just camp their base, and base push from there. And Sub implemented some good old tried and tested ZX Ganon strats here to a staggering degree of success. Yeah, impressive, short, sweet game. We are going to be back with game number 7. The conclusion. Stay tuned.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Game number 7. And Cav needs some time to rethink his game plan. Good thing the map is Trail of Thought, so he's gonna have plenty of time. There is a hospital in the middle. There are fences literally everywhere. This is a map where tank flanks just don't work all that well. Send your tanks through the middle, send an MCV through the middle, risk getting exposed by the crush zones. Which I honestly think is a really cool layer of gameplay dynamics. Maybe even unintended, but it is like the consequences are definitely noticeable in terms of a gameplay impact, and it just is cool. It is another extra layer that top tier players can exploit to scout without actually committing a scouting unit. I like that a lot. So anyway, couple oil derricks scattered about. We only have 2, right? Yeah, that's only 2 derricks. So the early game, I would honestly be okay with a War Factory rush here. You've got a moderate amount of ore. Starting ore is medium low, and you want an expansion as soon as possible. So an MCV rush would be very viable. But obviously you can also just go for field pressure and make your opponent feel scared. Feel scared to venture out in the dark and fear what's lurking there. There's also 2 gem mines, and I'm always a bit apprehensive about gem mines being placed willy-nilly. The reason being is, if they're not the first expansion to take, they're just gonna grow to such exponential yields that you're gonna have a time in the game where it's just gonna be floating no matter what you build. And then you're gonna be in dire straits again because gems don't regrow all that fast. So it's a bit of a weird dynamic, but hey, the hospital, might as well take it. It's a freebie if we already got positioning on it, but I would not expend any thoughts or resources on getting that done. Ooh, trying for a flank on the engineer. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. We've got so many more good games lined up. Not only are there ladder replays, but also something I want to highlight is RHL Season 11 has started. Season 10, sorry. It has officially commenced like a month ago. And you want to take a guess how many Masters games have been played? One set. One set, but that was a really good one. I think it was Happy and Goat going at each other's throat. And that one I'm definitely gonna cast and highlight. It's gonna be right on the schedule after this one. I very much am looking forward to getting back into competitive play, but right now I haven't had the time. It feels so weird. The only practice matches I had were against Caution, who has been grinding the ladder to an absolutely adamant, to an absolutely amazing degree. Ooh, Engineer almost getting sniped here. To an absolutely amazing degree, his dedication has been unyielding and impressive. But his success rate hasn't been up there just yet. You know, tends to happen. He has, I think all the games he's played, which is something that I really commend him for, is he's always played against strong opponents. He never was content just fighting against easy players. He was always just like, yeah, give me the big boys. And he took the L's in stride. Also, check out Caution's Twitch and YouTube channels, respectively. He has been doing a very good job keeping them alive with content, and ooh, that was a big snipe. Whoa. That APC, if there were no hesitation, there was a moment of hesitation here. Had he not hesitated there, he could have actually gotten so many more crushes. That was Sub being a little hesitant for just a brief moment. Well, too bad no one's gonna have the hospital here, because Cav has got a lot of wounded boys in the mix. Engineer still sniffing around. So yeah, definitely drop him a follow on his Twitch channel. If nothing else, Caution has been relentless with casting, which is something that I'm looking forward to getting back into, but it's gonna take a while. As I've mentioned before, we need to purchase our own house before that, because my apartment right now is just too small. We're also expecting our second child now, so it's gonna be even more restless nights now that the first one is finally settled. With this game, timings are about even. Army Graph should right now be favoring Cav by a little bit. Ooh, actually by a lot. Okay, those engagements were more costly than I thought, but I guess it was just more rockets than normal. Eco is okay for both players, 5 harvesters for both. Eco slide is coming in for Cav already. He's got the expansion lined up at a perfect timing. Cav has deployed it as well. That is just a textbook macro play from both. Haha! Rifle doing a barrel roll, escaping the clutches of the harvester for now. First tank is pushing out as well. Ooh, also, something I want to mention is the next patch spotlight. I'm working on it and it's definitely coming. So far, I'm not even halfway done and the script is 6 pages. So this one it's gonna be comprehensive. Let's leave it at that. Lots of changes coming up. For those of you who are unaware of the changelog for playtests, so many things have changed and improved, I have to add. Discord integration, handicaps for multiplayer, especially the ladder system is something I really want to give special attention to. Special. Damn, I'm starting to sound like Ganon. Cut it out. Ganon, if you're watching this, why you no participate in RHL Season 10? Come on. You should be tangoing with the big boys there. No pressure. The gem mines are so plenty. Oh, that's gonna yield him an income, yield both players an income spike. Yep. That's starting to look like the COVID graphs in my country. Looks a lot like exponential growth. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, without being too political, it's been kind of a shit show because we have the vaccination laying around, but distribution methods are sketchy at best. Ooh, tanks have crushed a fence and have thus revealed the entire army move out. So Sub is doing what Sub does best. Getting his army into position, intercepting. That was really well crafted from him. Also the rifleman, he gave it away. Tesla coil is being deployed as well. Ooh, and one heavy tank in the eco lines. Nasty, nasty. This is one of those times where heavy tanks are just so much better than mediums. Do you see the chunk damage that they're doing with just their double barrel, like the double burst? That is not even close. Like, medium tank doesn't even come close to this. So much more effective. So the only thing that is kind of not playing in favor of Sub right now is that the fact that the army was sitting on the ore and thus denying himself mining. Because the harvesters can't gain access to the tiles. And playing him beautifully, playing Ring Around the Rosie with this one tank. Meanwhile, the rest of the army... Whoa, great concave for Sub. And Kav's army is in disarray. Infantry to the front lines, they're getting slaughtered. Concave is strong for now, but is it holding? Okay, tanks are going in, spearheading. Oh! They stopped just short, but it's okay, everything is okay, the backup has arrived. That one tank merging with the army. Very nice. Beautiful defense here. That one tank merging with the army just in time. That was what won him the fight there. And we're gonna start seeing some swings in a couple seconds. Hasn't yet been arriving. Hasn't yet been displayed in the graphs just yet. Two heavies. I don't think the front lines are gonna be good enough. Trying to brute force this into a base, that's never a good idea. Because there's always just more flame towers popping up. There we go. Ooh, he's not even repairing the tanks, he's just pushing forward. Feels has got the momentum on his side, and that definitely tends to agree there. Yeah, okay. Getting pushed back a little. One tank traded for nothing. On the left-hand side, lots of veterans. Ooh, those rifles. That is an elite squad if I've ever seen one. That looks like the half of the NKVD is in there in the front lines. Good hustle. Oh, Kav can get so much value out of repairing those tanks. I love that. He's also got the Radar Dome. Sub is a little behind with the Radar Dome, but that doesn't matter too much, like those 10 seconds. But what really matters are those 3 tanks. That's a 4k asset bank that is sitting in its base for now, and can be repurposed to go back to the front lines in just a minute's notice. Oh, low power. Rip. Rip. Coil should have... No, it hasn't been revealed. Okay, that's big. But he's heard the wind-up sound of the Tesla. Honestly, he would have preferred to have the Tesla on the gem mines, but yeah, take what you can get, I guess. Now would be a smart move. Would be a smart time to move the MCV a bit more to the left and start base pushing from there. One tank through the middle into the unprotected eco lines. Ooh, the first yak goes down. I always love the logic when they just fall on the tiles. Get smushed. This is a beautiful tank flank. This just denies a lot of mining. Very successful. Oh, okay. Nope. Deciding against it. Forget about that. Little detachment is taking care of the tank now. Are we seeing some move outs? No, but we're seeing a V2 transition from Sub. Is Kav... Oh yeah, yeah. Kav also got them ready. Locked and loaded. Dive bombing in with a Yak would be a very appropriate measure. First Yak is coming online for Sub now, and I don't think he wants to waste it. He wants to either use it for scouting and then get some good splash hits onto the blob, or he wants to dive bomb for the V2s. Those are his 2 lines of play. Wow, by the way, those supplies have not been mined at all. Those, yeah, those ore tiles, the ore mines here, basically untouched for now. Iron Curtain already out. Ooh, that was a sweet hit, though. Tech Center, Iron Curtain. Is he going for some more tier 3? Yeah, mix. Ooh, okay. A massive tank flank. 6, 7, 8 tanks? Jeez. How do you stop this amount of armor? Okay, this Tesla can be sold off. Does he want to try and breach the expansion? Because on the other side, he is gonna lose everything. As soon as those tanks start moving in, it's gonna look dire. There is no Tesla coil here anymore. Keep that in mind. And heavies versus heavies. How long till the Iron Curtain? It's maybe a bit premature. Maybe a bit of a premature push from Cav because he doesn't have the Iron Curtain ready just yet. Man, those V2s just chipping away. Counter-tech center is out. But no Iron Curtain inside just yet. The MiG is also going to be coming in online in a couple seconds. And the MiG is going to be massive. Against Soviets, Soviets are struggling with anti-air as long as they don't back-tech to flak tracks. And in an armor battle, in a straight-up armor battle, you don't want to do that. You don't want to have flak tracks anywhere. So MiGs can be really potent at sniping, chipping away at Tesla coils, sniping tanks here and there, and overall providing so much vision. And this is one of the smaller, or one of the maps where the radius is kind of small, even though the actual tiles by tiles is quite large. But seeing as it's almost a perfect square, makes it more efficient for MiGs to get to any point from the middle. Oh, I didn't notice those gems. Huh. Probably worth it for long distance mining. So it is definitely looking up for Cav here, who he doesn't have to do anything other than wait. The perfect counter, by the way, perfect counter to those heavy tank plays, where the heavy tanks are just miles ahead of the army and are being Iron Curtained, is hijack them. That would be the 10 out of 10 play. This hasn't been revealed. The Yak can't see it just yet. If only he moved the Yak forward a bit more proactively. Whoa, what a concentration of assets here. Demo truck? Yeah, Iron Curtain's been fired. The other line of play, again, if it's just heavy tanks, would be just walling off quickly, but it's too late for that. It is too late indeed. Some good shots. Yeah, V2 gets some really good hits in. But there's a Harvester dying. Iron Curtain is timing out now. The Conyard is going down. But if it... Ooh, that was a crash and a half. That Yak definitely paid its dues. I mean, he got the Conyard, but he didn't get much else just yet. There is still an army left. Ooh, that's a big flank, though. There's a counter curtain ready. This is starting to get real spicy. Problem is that this army is really bad at chasing. Okay, so maybe he's got more gas left in the tank. Cav is pushing forward. He's pushing onto the eco lines, and okay, his army's getting split up. Some of it is getting intercepted. Heavy tanks on guard duty with the Iron Curtain on the left-hand flank. But there is another detachment. And okay, harvesters are being pulled back. Nice, nice, good hustle. So far, Cav only lost the Conyard there. That's not a big deal. Oh, that's nasty though. The army has now arrived at the main base, and this is gonna be free reign. Attack all move has been called, and the service depot is probably going down in a couple seconds. Yep. No more tank production. Ooh, move command. No, not like this. A swarm of MiGs. Oh, a flock of 3. Very solid. And here the V2s are doing Stalin's work. I mean, I can't really say God's work when it's Soviet Russia. Quite the non-religious doctrine that they were running. Cav still has Sub still has a decent army, but armies have been depleted on both sides. Radadome is going down here. Just a small army. Damn. Outpositioned. The Iron Curtain is almost ready to go again. That's the only airfield. Oh, all the harvesters are down for Sub. It is looking bleak. After that phenomenal Game 5, it's looking like the bleak streak is going to continue. No, it was Game 6. Right. It's looking like the bleak streak here is going to continue, and yeah. How do you come back from this? I don't know if you can actually stop 3 MiGs. He doesn't have the anti-air anymore. Kav can just snipe harvester after harvester for free. He's got a large army, don't get me wrong. Sub still has a lot of army assets. But how does he put them to good use without losing his entire economy lines to just random MiGs? The MiG play, I've got to say, they've gotten back into the meta. Finally, people are starting to see how good they are. There were so many talks about from people screaming to buff them. People were demanding that they get anti-air, people were demanding that they get more ammo, people were demanding that they get more rate of fire, whatever. MiGs are so good. And finally, people are starting to see it. Yes! They're seeing the light. Seriously though. Yeah. The entire flock of harvesters is migrating. Giving him the loop-de-loop. Oh, parabombs! That is gonna be beautifully timed with the end of the Iron Curtain. Wow. Sell off, so gets 2 technicians. But that was phenomenal. Really, really great timing. Displaying some really amazing game knowledge. Sub needs to repopulate his mines, but he also needs lots of anti-air. And in terms of anti-air, you cannot rely on rocket soldiers against MiGs. MiGs are too nimble, they can outrun and dodge the missiles. So instead what you need to do is just park flak trucks. Oh no! Whoa! One of the MiGs goes down and that's a lucky break, because otherwise the Conyard would have been forfeit. Yeah, that's the big difference maker. Definitely agree here with chat. With the wisdoms of chat. That air superiority is such a big deal, especially in Soviet versus Soviet mirrors, because in Soviets versus Allies, you can lose that quite quickly to flak trucks. But in Sov versus Sov with the nimble MiGs, yeah, not so easy. Service depot going down again. That is gonna be that's gonna be the end of the tank production for Sub. He still has a base here. He also has a flank prepared onto the eco lines. Maybe he should even camp the airfields. Maybe that would be worth it. He has one MCV. That is correct. 2 MCVs for Kav, but the main base is actually unprotected. Interestingly, so just going to push for the middle might be an interesting line of play. Hard to call though, because he's really far behind now. We're gonna check the assets. He's not that far behind. Okay, it's less bad than I thought. It's only 6k difference for now. And the Iron Curtain is coming back up. Alright, Sub has kind of managed to stabilize. He needs to... Okay, yeah, he's on APCs now. APCs on duty. That is gonna be an all-in, basically. If he loses this army and then loses one of his expansions, he's out for good. Oh, low power. So the Iron Curtain can't be fired now. Power... Kav has found the power switch, so power is back on. Man, what an insane game. Okay, so he's curtaining defensively in his main base. That allows the Iron Curtain to get sniped. And maybe this push can be halted, but no, I don't think so. That's just too many heavies. Okay, he's trying his best to do a tech snipe. Yep. That's gonna maybe net a full tech reset. Ah, he's going for the war factory. There's a secondary war factory. This is not as efficient as he would hope. Yeah, it's not looking good anymore. Gem mines are being snagged away as well. So that might be the 5-2. For all intents and purposes, I'm not seeing a way back for Sub. He's under the weather, under pressure from too many fronts. But he has held so phenomenally well. And keep in mind that Sub right now, I think, is the 3rd best ranked player on the ladder. Alright, that was a wild one. Wild ride from start to finish. 5-2 is the end score in favor of Kav. But Sub has definitely made one hell of an impression here for himself. And we're gonna be back next week with RAGL. With, I think it's Happy versus Goat. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is. And there's so much more, so many more good ladder replays. I've also got a series of Bane against Kav that I definitely want to be highlighted. With that out of the way, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week, and I'll also see you for the patch spotlight very soon. Stay hyped for the new release. 5 Aces, out.
Battle control terminated.